In Kenya, 84% of the land area is classified as arid and semi-arid land, and a majority of this area is affected by moderate to severe land degradation and desertification. About 10 million people live in arid and semi-arid lands, and over half of this live below the poverty line. These regions remain chronically poor, routinely food insecure, drought-prone and marginalized.
The poverty rates in Wajir County is extremely very high. It's one of the highest in the country, and that's one of the reasons why Wajir County was chosen as one of the beneficiary counties.
The situation in Marsabit before was very bad. Among the 47 counties, it was that from the bottom.
Saa ingine tunapata unga hiyo sukari hatuwezi pata, watu ni wengi, maskini wengi. Kitambo tukuje imeshaisha. So saa ingine tunaweza lala njaa, saa ingine tunapata.
Ilikuwa zamani kuna ng'ombe na maliswa na jilali. Na hivi tu kama shida tu ilikuwa hapa.
In an effort to address these challenges, the government of Kenya, through the National Drought Management Authority, and with funding from the UK, implemented the Hunger Safety Net Programme, HSNP.
We aim to reach up to 100,000 of the poorest households by providing them with a regular support, cash transfers electronically delivered directly into their bank account.
One of the key innovations is when you look at the transfers, our beneficiaries could get what they want. Secondly, the countries in East Africa also are learning from Kenya, bearing in mind that this is a government flagship project.
The objective of HSNP is to reduce poverty, hunger, and vulnerability for the poor in Kenya's arid and semi-arid lands, and to create better and more sustainable safety nets for poor and vulnerable households, particularly for the households in the arid and semi-arid lands.
It is directly targeting people who are vulnerable, people who have been affected by drought, whose assets have been destroyed, whose livestock have been destroyed, who are living below the poverty line.
Emergency cash transfers during drought is one of the core objectives of the HSNP. Currently, over 78% of all households in the 4 counties have active bank accounts, with more accounts being activated each week.
HSNP is one of the key cash transfer programs that has an emergency component in it. We usually give the beneficiaries, especially the Group 2 beneficiaries who do not receive regular cash transfers.
It's about actually having an impact, about making sure that we're reaching and making a difference for the poorest people in those drought-affected areas. Secondly, it's also about making sure it's good value for money, that we're delivering the finances to the right person at the right time and the person who's most in need.
waqtiga lacagtan ay noo imaadayso waxay ahayd waqti abaara laga soo baxay oo dhibka aad jir waqtigii abaaraha laga soo baxay oo maartay dadka aad dhicibsan yahay ay lacagtan nagu soo toostay.
The Hunger Safety Net Programme operates under 5 thematic areas: registration and targeting, bank account opening, payments, case management, and realization of wider rights. The program used a selection criterion that was agreed upon by the government and the key stakeholders. It targeted the poorest and most vulnerable households.
The fact that we have got very many poor families here, I think it was the intention of the project to assist these people who are poor. And the main purpose of this particular program is to assist these households so that they can be able to fend for themselves.
marka aan ruuxay waa iska kay daba mareen haddaan dhuuxan lacagta ku soo qaataas waa
aniga lugri mun aan aragtay naqanake abato waxa agrada rabaa dor tobator boqolan raayna ni abatte waa bulu qoloyti mar boqola dor baade ay abator baatni mar boqoja.
All HSNP payments to beneficiaries are then made through bank accounts. Nominated members from beneficiary families with valid national IDs open and have access to the bank accounts.
Our role in HSNP program is payment service provider. We ensure we open an account for these beneficiaries that are already identified. We distribute cards. Therefore, we do the payments finally and ensure that these targeted beneficiaries get the services where they are.
HSNP cash transfers are deposited to beneficiaries' bank accounts on the 5th day of every 2 months. Beneficiaries can access money using an ATM card at Equity's payment agents within their sub-locations, through an ATM or over the counter of any Equity bank. There is no pressure to withdraw the full amount of cash transfer because beneficiaries can and are able to save in their bank account. However, they are allowed 2 free withdrawals per cycle. The bank accounts must be active at least once in 6 months, equivalent to 3 payment cycles, to avoid being deactivated after 6 months of dormancy.
Baada ya mwezi moja ndio tunaenda kuchukua, ndio tunaenda kwa agent tununue na kitu. Ikiwa ni credit tunaenda kulipa.
A beneficiary can update or file a complaint through forms located at the sub-locations. The cases are then logged into and managed by HSNP MIS Case Management System.
Kadi nasema hii ni kadi yako, hakuna kwa hiyo pesa yako. Kwa tunasunguka na kusha kidogo napata matatizo, baadaye akatengelezwa napata hiyo pesa.
Equity Bank resolves payment-related complaints. Updates are resolved by NDMA, while legal and corruption-related complaints are referred to the national oversight mechanisms. At least 300,000 poor women benefit from improved access to financial services via electronic cash transfer payments directly into their bank accounts as a result of this intervention.
Peduri yang alia monika bori ni teknik chana ni amakar kara ngori yang de peduri agel kara I akmuj peduri yang alia mon na tanyam.
You see orphans or widows who are left, who husbands have died, now managing their families without the husband, taking their children to school and all that, and this is what they could not do with relief food.
The county as well is embracing cash transfers courtesy of Hunger Safety Net because they have seen the importance of it, and that basically most of the non-governmental organizations are shifting towards long-term cash transfer programming.
HSNP intends to reach over 600,000 of Kenya's most vulnerable people to access cash transfers and up to 2.1 million people reach with emergency cash transfers in times of drought.
The Hunger Safety Net programme is now a key part of the National Safety Net programme, and it's also a core plank of the government's Ending Drought Emergencies plan. That's really good news because the government's shown commitment to the programme in its national policy framework. So we want to ultimately increase the domestic financing for this programme, both for the regular transfers and the scale-up transfers. But we're making good progress, but we know that we've still got more work to do in this area. So we're here for some time more.
HSNP continues to create better and more sustainable safety nets for poor and vulnerable households to ending hunger and protecting assets.
hum